Alright, okay, so we're live with the Sellick Da team.
We've got a technical issue.
How are you all doing, guys? Welcome to the Celtic Da Podcast with myself, Kev, my good mate Patchy here.
Guys.
I think it's only typical that Celtic Da's we should have some technical issues.
What was it? We were trying to get logged in earlier and we couldn't get the camera to work.
We're trying to get logged in. Well, not actually as old as Celtic Da's, but
just like a lot older.
Aye, exactly, aye. So welcome to the Celtic Da Podcast. You're here to get up with the Celtic Da team for a final.
Up final day, mate.
There
we go.
It wouldn't be, I'm pretty cynical, and I think that this could be the last cup final for a while, the way we've been playing lately. Will we be there next year? Who knows? But thanks for having us. We're absolutely buzzing to be a part of it. And we just want to say thanks to Celtic State of Mind for having us on, and Paul John Dykes as well for inviting us to be a part of this hour. We just want to say thanks to just a big shout out to the 4 charities as well: Children First, Rock Talk, Help for the Homeless, and Food Fact Friends Food Bank. It's quite hard to say first thing in the morning.
Well, definitely.
I've been practising that last night. So welcome the Celtic Da Podcast. Hopefully you're getting up for the game. Patch, how are you feeling, mate?
It's the usual nerves, isn't it? You always get that. You just kind of wake up. I was expecting breakfast when I come, but I'm not in there.
I'll take a can of cider.
Aye, that's true. No, it's just you want the game to start. Do you know what I mean? That's what you kind of get to that stage, don't you? You're just kind of, right, I'm ready to do this now.
I hate the build-up. I absolutely hate this sort of build-up to it all. I don't know about you, mate. I don't see on Rangers games. I hate listening to it beforehand. Usually you see this crowd gathering. It just makes me nervous. I
think Celtic and Rangers games are a lot worse for me. Like I feel sick for about a week before them. Honestly, I take time off my work. But no, like with this, I think this will be a good day for us. Do you know what I mean? We've had a bad time yet the last wee while, and I just think that getting back in it now, getting a trophy, and it could be the kick on that we need. So I'm excited for the game to start and get going.
I mean, we have said that before, mate. I don't know.
This is it.
This
is different, do you know what I mean? Even when we were playing bad, the semi-final against Aberdeen, I thought we played really well. Do you know what I mean? So I think Hampden suits us. Size of the pitch and stuff like that, it's always a one-off game, so teams can't just be their usual, you know what I mean, that they do in the league. So I'm looking forward to it, mate.
I like that, mate. I like your attitude. We hope, obviously, everybody's buzzing to go. The charity's doing really well. I think we're up to about 17 grand odd, so hopefully get to about 20,000 by the day. Us personally, we've got the brown top in signed, so I think that last bid was up to about 175 quid, which is good. I think we're going to put in a joint bid for it as well, because it's a belter.
I'll need to check when I get paid.
Yeah, well, I'll pay off, mate, don't worry. It's an absolute belter. Don't think it decreases in value just because Sorrow should start the day.
No, I regardless of that, I think
he's a club legend.
Scott Brown, he's the... I mean, apart from, obviously we never grew up with him, but apart from like McNeil, I'd say he's our greatest captain.
Well, certainly. I wonder if technically in terms of trophies won.
I think he's
number one.
I don't know if he's number one. He might be, He's definitely got a shout. But no, he's a legend at the club, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Regardless. So, no, it's a great talk.
Do you think too much has been made of... it's got to be Sorrow. I mean, we'll get to the team later, mate, but do you think it's been too much been made of that?
I think it's to be expected, though, because let's not kid ourselves here, right? We've not been playing great. The thing is, I'm not going to say that was down to Scott Brown, because it's not a case that you take Scott Brown at the team and all of a sudden we're playing well, because that's not it. It's been a collective. But I think that just because Sorrow has had as much an impact and the two of them play the same position, do you know what I mean? So I think it's only natural that people talk about that, but it's one of them, and it's cup final day, do you know what I mean? It's what it comes in. Scott Brown's been there and done it, do you know what I mean? So I think it's one of them. I think if he started Sorrow, I think a lot of fans would be happy, but equally, I think if Scott Brown starts today, I don't think anybody will be like, oh, that's it, that's the wrong move, do you know what I mean?
I think we've got to that stage where people are a bit like, if Brown starts, that's a disaster. But it's like, I think what you've got to take account, like you say, is his experience.
Exactly.
Someone's never played a hand in before for a start, you know what I mean? It's the thing with Brown
is he's not been great, but I was listening to Super Scoreboard on Friday, and it was Jim Duffy that was talking, and Jim Duffy was saying about being a good captain, it's not just about how you perform on the park, it's how you get other people to play. Well, I think we've seen over the years that Scott Brown's unbelievable at that. Do you know what I mean? Right. He's unbelievable at getting other people to step up to the plate. He always tries to step up to the plate, do you know what I mean? But he's great at getting other people to do it as well, so I think that's...
I totally agree. He's the one that we always talk about. You go to Ibrox and things only going well, and it's like he'll stick one on someday, and it's like that. So he's very much that type of captain, leads by example sort of thing. So if he plays, don't worry guys, it's no end of the world.
And you can have this lovely top, you know what I mean? So we're going to get an assistant to model she phoned in sick. That's just us two.
It's an absolute belter, guys, honestly. It's up to $75. I think there's got maybe a day or two left in the auction.
There's 2 days left.
So if you want it, you better get in quick and get your wallet. Honestly, just so very much thanks for joining us. We'll just go through what we're going to do today, just to be back to going back down memory lane on the old Scottish Cup front.
Yeah.
And we'll sort of go over the team and what we think is going to happen today. Obviously up 9 o'clock in the morning, ready to go, which are pretty much Cup Day ritual. Just get up.
Normally my pre-match Cup Day ritual is to not be out of bed for about another 3 hours.
So this is middle of the night.
This is middle of the night for me. I got up this morning and it was still pitch black.
there was talk he's just staying an all-nighter.
Just staying up for it.
Just staying up, but then it would have
been a very different show, I think.
It's got to be sick, yeah.
Imagine I was trying to get signed in. We struggled to get signed in anyway. I've only had a can. So Cup final day, it's normally... Well, I mean, we've been quite lucky with the recent one. We've obviously been to a lot of the games.
Yes.
A lot of the finals. So normally the ritual's just meet up, have a couple of drinks, get some music on, head in, and then that's it, do you know what I mean? And then out afterwards.
Like I say, I hate watching any sort of build-up. I just feel like you start listening to people and then you listen. Well, for one, if it's on Sky or whatever, no one's Cup final day, but you listen to the pundits and you're just well, basically, if you want to name them, I'm sorry about it.
No, let's name them.
It was good to see his face midweek, wasn't it?
Oh my God.
And the favourites are out.
See, the thing was, though, or not, he pure dishes it out, and then if he gets anything back, he's just kind of like, that's a bit uncalled for. But he posted behind him, some people have found their keyboard fingers again. That is slice.
That's big. So, thanks for having us here. Basically, obviously, this is the Sellick Da Podcast. We've been going since. Been quite a quick turnaround for the Sellick Da.
It's been. We've definitely rose quickly. I can see the inevitable fall as well.
Up and straight back down. So, me and Patsy are a couple of wasters, so we'll just ride it until the wheels come off it. We're just going to absolutely enjoy it, milk it for everything that it's got. I think we'll try to get some endorsements, for.
If anybody wants to sponsor us or something, do you know what I mean?
Sellick Da teas here.
Teas and that, do you know what I mean? So definitely.
The Sellick Da teas after postage and packaging are turning over about a £2 profit.
That's it.
Big time.
I bought the cans.
So, it's not all outgoings. Just talking on the Brown talk there, do you remember we were at an auction? Not an auction, but we were at a sort of fundraising night, and it was like Celtic taps, Rangers taps, sign taps. And obviously I had a few drinks. And see, at the big man, I'm like, right, what's this? I'm putting a bid, right? Knowing that I was thinking myself, right, I'll put in a bid. I'll look the big man and then I'll get outbid. I'll go for about 500 quid, so after that, 100 quid. It got to going twice.
Before that guy jumped in right then, was like 100.
See, the thing is, I was steaming, so I'm like 100 quid, and then seeing me going twice, I sobered up. It's like, what about?
You would have been going around everybody, but you got a score.
Well, the thing was, as soon as they done that, when they done sold, they would come in with a chip and pin, and you had to get your card out and pay for it. And I'm like, I know I've not got 100 quid in that account. So I'm thinking I'm in trouble. Once again, me trying to act cool hasn't paid off. We started the whole thing started in January. Just started a Twitter page for a bit of a laugh, just to be anonymous and just be a bit of a keyboard gangster and just attack people.
Next thing our faces are out there.
Exactly, aye. So now we're plastered.
Roll on the abuse.
Aye, we're plastered all the internet again. So we started. It was actually the three of us. were the sort of ugly twos that were the host. Gorgeous Smart has left us for
Astro's new.
Just difficulties. So it's just wasn't getting it.
It's just because he's work and stuff like that. He couldn't commit to the thing.
Well, that's what he'll tell you.
He was actually booted at, if I'm just being honest here.
Well,
he's still I'm only kidding on. I know his family are watching.
Mark's
watching as well. So no, he's still part of it. Do you know what I mean? He was helping us come up with ideas and stuff. Like for this is why it's been so badly after 11 minutes.
Dying.
So no, he started party, but I should do his running it now, and it was just kind of. I think it's. Let's be honest, we started this as a kind of tribute to our dads.
Well, that's what I was going to get on.
Because we're not really old enough to be Celtic dads.
Well, I think that's where we've gone. People, I think, listen in, being good couple of old boys. I mean, we're only two shits. We're in our 30s now.
Yeah. Both in our 30s.
Both in our 30s is the point. And we basically, it's just a tribute to, I think, our dads, really.
Pretty much. It's a tribute to all the things you used to hear growing up, which is like, watch this. Rangers will be the last team to finish playing the day. Do you know what I mean? Watch this, they'll be the last team to finish. Stuff like that. And then,
which I feel like Rangers although, to be fair, I think the Celtic dads were onto something because they seem to have been calling stuff.
That's what my dad, Frank, he'll be watching, used to always say that. That was the joke. Do you know what I mean? Like, for the Rangers game, finished not neat, who missed the penalty?
Well, this is that.
You know, and this season that has proven
very the case.
Pretty true.
Not to give him too much of your time, but at 1-0 Motherwell, I was tempted to stick a fiver on Tavernier next goal scorer because it was at 61.
I would have been tainted cash.
I would have enjoyed it. So I basically, I think I say like that is, I think it maybe started as a sort of derogatory term. Not from us, just people saying, you're saying the Celtic, coming on it.
It's that kind of just negativity where it's like you just can't help but just pessimistic and everything's against you and out to get you. I think that's it.
I think I've got a bit of that in me. I'm very.
Definitely get a bit of that, mate.
I think, although I was born late 80s into the 90s, I think every Celtic dad is better from the 90s. I certainly am. It ruined my childhood, the 90s.
Well, wasn't he? You can look back on it now, not with fondness, but it's anecdotes to tell.
Exactly. It's made as people
at the time. I mean, I still remember being in primary school and like sitting there doing that. I think you'll finish above Aberdeen this year because you're just like, well, definitely not going to win the league.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as I say, it's a bit of a tip of that to our dads. We definitely think of it as an affectionate term. It's not in any way a derogatory term for us here. We're after it. So shout out to all the real Celtic dads, and we'll just try to represent you best we can. So as I say, thanks for joining us. We're here, and we'll just go talk a wee bit about previous Scottish Cup games and Scottish Cup ties. It as a Scottish Cup. We have won it 39 times.
Yep, that's correct.
Counted last night. So the most successful club in the Scottish Cup. We've got that and everything else. Firstly, start off, Patchy, what we'll go with your best memory Scottish Cup wise, mate.
When I was trying to think of these, I think like there's a few, but the one which was just unbelievable was it's got to be Big Tam. Big Tam's winner against Aberdeen 2017. It was just, I was at the game and 100% that's the most I've ever celebrated a goal. Like, it was just the sheer relief.
I was green.
Mate, it was unbelievable. Like, and the thing was, we didn't even have great seats that day. We were quite far up the back.
Yeah.
But it was unbelievable. The goal as well. I think it was one of them. It's like the goals kind of get a mystique about it now because like, I remember at the time people doing that. As soon as that ball went in, lightning hit the top of the hand and stuff like that. Which I don't know if that actually did happen. But it was one of them when I heard it, I was like, I could believe that, and that isn't just because I had like 4 dragon suits. But it was just the way he picked the ball up, and he's just got that way runs like that, like
slalom.
Everything about it. It was just unbelievable, and then it was just to cap off what was just an unbelievable season and the start of an unbelievable run. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were talking about that just before we come on. In our lifetime, before this run at the moment, before that, like, we'd done 1 treble, which was Martin O'Neill's first season. And it was the treble, rightfully so, had that respect about it, where it was like, this is really hard to do. It's not easy, do you know what I mean? But what this team, this current squad have done, to make it this sort of commonplace over the last couple of seasons, it's just unbelievable. And I think that it really is. It's obviously it's come into focus, and it's unreal to think that this could be. We've already set the record. I think we're doing the treble, and then to go and do it again. That treble's just unreal. But that game was the start of it. Do you know what I mean? And it just, it was unreal, mate. It was absolutely unreal.
I remember. Also, we had been on the Dragon Soups the full day that day.
Yeah. We had some in a hedge, and then we fund them after the game.
That's right, that was a great moment. I remember finding the Dragon Soup in the hedge after it and holding up on a Scottish Cup. Get in! Hollow victory. But we were obviously in the Dragon Soups in the house early doors. Then we got to the game. Obviously, you can't drink at the game, so you start to sort of. The buzz squares off, right? And you're like, go and get me a Pepsi or something, try and get a caffeine now. And then, so Aberdeen take the lead. Yeah. And I've looked at you like, Johnny, clearly two is also on their way down like feels just, you're instantly sober.
I was setting in, Johnny Hayes and all.
And the thing is, we were only behind for like 70 seconds or something. Armstrong basically scored the attack straight away, but it seemed like a week, and I'm looking at you like, oh no.
I think it was because that happened so quickly, like back to back, and then nothing happened. Do you know what I mean? Like the only thing, like the sort of big thing during the game was like KT getting off with injury and stuff like that. Luckily, it was Rogic that came on for him. I think. So like, no much happened. Like I don't see, honestly, not just because we were drinking before it, but I don't remember great amounts of the full game. It's just that last moment, and it's like I think I'll remember that in my dying day, mate.
Just before we go on, we're getting dogs. Well, I'm getting dogs abuse a big mark for like the start, and I'm like, oh man,
I'm not technologically sound.
See, it'll be me that gets it the neck, mate. No, you don't like. So obviously, not a mess technical minded, but we got there. I think we're live now. If you could, can you hear us? All the best. That day, Johnny Hayes with the opening goal, Lee Griffiths totally sleeping.
It's a good finish,
that was a weird season because obviously he started off like we need Lee Griffiths, then Dembele just went ballistic, and then he was injured for the cup final, and you're like, Lee Griffiths, like what a good turn around.
No, it was a weird season, mate, but Griffiths. I don't want to pick too much about this to talk more about the game, but like Griffiths just that he is, isn't it? Like, what do you know what I mean?
See how, like you were saying, the fact, in our Celtic's history, like there hadn't been that many. We basically doubled the trebles we've done within the last couple of years. It is something that's getting totally overlooked, I think, because of the whole like 10 thing.
Everything's getting overlooked.
It's like, and I've said before, I think you look back, say it's a treble, quadruple treble, whatever it is, it's unbelievable. Like
it's crazy.
Like the cup run that we went on until a couple of weeks ago. It's frightening.
I remember when we done the treble in O'Neill's first season, and I remember being like, "Wow, Jesus, he's just done a treble." Do you know what I mean? It had that about it, and see, the thing is, what this team's done now, the treble's still the same. It's still as difficult to do. Yep. You're seeing at the moment how difficult it is for teams to win one trophy.
Yep.
For teams to win one trophy, and to consider the fact that like we could potentially do 12 in a row. Do you know what I mean? Like it's unreal, and the treble is still, it's hard to do, and it's just that this team has completely excelled and just it's set the bar ridiculously high. Do you know what I mean? For everybody else to follow.
Do you think that is why the team are coming in for so much abuse this year? Because but I think personally we've took this team to the well too many times, and I think you're seeing that. You've took Brown, you're just relying on Brown again and again and again, and you're getting to the point where Mother Nature catches up with you. Like, you know what I mean?
You're right in your saying that this team has been doing well a lot, but I think that it's purely because of how high they've set the bar. Do you know what I mean? So the thing is, like, the run that we were on, it got really bad towards the end, but even when it first started, like with the run, it was a case of, it wasn't great, but you would have maybe had worse starts and stuff like that, and we've came back, but they were still getting the same sort of criticism, and it is just purely because of what this team's achieved and what they've done. It's setting the standards, and you can't let them slip. Do you know what I mean? That's the important thing. That's all you need to keep it up. But I think obviously it's unfair considering that they're looking at what they're doing, some of the abuse that they were getting, but I think that
from you,
I was pretty bad for it, but I think that they probably expect it, do you know what I mean? Like, I think they know what the standard is, and it's them that sets it, do you know what I mean?
It's not even like, you say, like, we've been so brilliant and then we've lost one game and it turned. There's been panic, not panic, there's been questions asked for a reason. It was a horrendous run. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, you put in the European games and you're like, well, they don't matter because we're already out. But you've got to add in the European games to do it. The Sparta thing, I mean, 8-2 in aggregate, a very good Sparta side as well.
I'm worried that we'll end up in a rabbit hole here.
Sorry, mate, we're away.
I mean, I'm worried that we'll end up in a rabbit hole.
We'll go back to the Scottish Cup, sorry, guys. So that's your favourite memory for the Scottish Cup. Last minute winner in the rain, mate. We were very nervous. I
didn't have a jacket and had to walk for Hampden to the Toon.
No chance of getting a taxi.
Nah, no chance.
I think again I was like, you need to change, mate, Celtic that one.
I'm not getting anywhere.
Okay, so let's go on to your worst Scottish Cup memory, Punchy. Let's just bring the total right.
Again, I've went fairly recent to this one, and it's the semi-final under dialogue against them.
I guess. For sure not being in.
See, the thing is, though, you can look back on it with hindsight, knowing what came after, and it really all started from that point. You know what I mean? So I think that it's probably more bittersweet. That I just remember at the time thinking like that my world had ended, because it was just kind of like. You already had your reservations against the sort of the team in Dylan, the way it was going, and then for that to happen, I was like, this is just compounded everything here, and you're just kind of like, it's over. I mean, they're going to come up next season. They're going to win a Scottish Cup, and now you're just everything's.
Well, I mean, pundits certainly bought into that. I think it was the next season they all made Rangers favourites.
I think it was
no disrespect.
I think there was only like one or two of them that backed Celtic.
Possibly. So basically, that game, you just terrible.
See, the thing is with that game, they were playing at their skin, right? And we were terrible. We still we got it to each, and we should have won it. Do you know what I mean? I think it was an extra time. We had a great chance to win the game.
And Roberts missed an open goal.
Exactly. So it was one of them. Like, we were terrible. And we still went to pens. But it was a rubbish day.
Do you want my theory on it?
What's your theory?
It's a crazy one, you know, I like it.
Right, okay, that is what.
That was around the time that Dyla would not play Commons, and he didn't know why. Apparently, he's not a nice person.
Yeah,
so I think maybe that's became fresh since. If we'd have played Commons that day, he would have scored and we would have won.
Okay, that's not really like it. That's just that.
So my point is,
what's your point?
We were terrible that day, but we would have got another goal and we would have scraped through it. They deserved to win that day, but we would have had enough and we would have won that day. However, then would we have sacked Dyla and got brought in?
Yeah, I think he would have still went.
He would still went, but would we have brought in a manager of the magnitude of those who should be you want name?
Not as I would have. I think Dyla would have went anyway. In fact, in fairness to him, I don't think Celtic sacked him. I think he was like, this is too much for me. Which is fair play to him, do you know what I mean? Like, they sort of admit to that. See, the thing is, I know Big Baz will be listening as well. He's got a lot of time for Ronnie.
He does.
I don't want him as a manager, but as a guy, as a person, I think he seems like a really good guy.
I think he sort of held his hands up and was like, that was too big a job for me in the end. Like, he'd done well. I think the feeling is, we didn't need a big manager when Rangers were out of the league, and he'd done well. We started well. I think what came out was their diet was a bit mental. Towards the end.
Soon Charlie Mulgrew talking about it. It's like, I lost 7 kilo, but I couldn't run the length for myself.
Exactly.
The energy.
So I think he basically admitted the job was too big for him. Because we lost that game, is that why we got Al Name, Brendan Rodgers, you won?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think it was... The rumour is that...
I love this rumour.
The rumour is that Desmond came into a bit of criticism for some of the Rangers board and stuff like that, who were partying it up after the game. And he took that as a personal slight and was like, right, that's not happening again. And he went out and got...
Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, they went out and got him. You know what I mean? So I think that... that's why I'm saying that game, as much as it's my worst memory, it's bittersweet because we wouldn't be sat here going for a quadruple treble if that wouldn't have happened.
Right, just to get in it a wee bit right, because he tucked his up Rogers, right, and you won't even name his name, right, which is fair enough. What's your feelings on that bit of history and Celtic's history?
It's still unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take away from what the history is. It doesn't take away from it. Do you know what I mean? Like, he done amazing things for the club. It's just, would I go for a pint with him? No. Do you know what I mean? So, right, I'm not getting. This is all I'm saying. Right, I'm not getting too into this because it's still early. All I'll say is, I don't mind if you come in and you're unbelievable and you do a job and that's it, and that's what it is to you. It's a job, then that's fine. I've got no issues with that. Do you know what I mean? Like Musa, I've got nothing against Musa because Musa came in, never claimed to have been born and brought up a Celtic fan, never claimed his whole family were Celtic fans, never claimed that this was his dream job, and then moved on. And I was like, that's fair enough. Like, that's absolutely fine, but don't sell as the dream.
The Danny McGrain thing.
Aye, do you know what I mean? Don't sell as the dream and then be like, alright, I know I'm off. First chance. So that's my only thing against it, but
that's fair enough. It was that whole like bomb and bread sale.
Exactly. Like, I'm not buying it. So I'll flip it then, Kev.
Okay.
Best Scottish Cup memory.
Right. Okay. Best. I'm going with Pierre Airdrie, right? Because
it was the only success we knew.
Well, that's the thing, right? If ever there was a contrast, right? So now you've got trebles, quadruple trebles, and you're a bit. I remember, I think it was the double treble. We won the League Cup, and people were kind of like, it was a bit like,
it's to be expected.
Exactly. Whereas I remember floods of tears when we lost to Wraith Rovers.
Oh, it was bad.
I was meant to go to that game, but I didn't want to go. I was just a wee guy, and my dad was like, a ticket, and I was like, just take me shirt to my sister.
It was the other day, Mark sent me the highlights of the game, and you watched it just then that.
It's Gordon DM.
See, Marshall goal, he just does that. He makes the save and he pops it up perfectly for the guy. He just run on and do that. And just he ran. He couldn't have done it better if he was trying, which he could have been.
I'm convinced Gordon Marshall cost us 2 or 3 leagues. And definitely cost us that.
He certainly contributed.
And also then when last day of the season that Scott McDonald won, he was unbelievable for Motherwell. It's like, if you're actually going to say it, terrible goalkeeper. Like you say, mate, that day, and it's obviously by that time it had been a good 5-6 years since that trophy. Like, you can't even imagine that. I mean, the people across the end of the city are going through that now.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. But we're trophy every couple of months at this point. So you get spoiled, could you say? You get a bit like, you're just like, I know that.
You do get spoiled, and I think that's why, like, obviously you've said that's your best Scottish Cup memory. I think it's good to remember that, do you know what I mean? Like, it meant a lot. It meant so much at the time. Like, we pretty much were just shy of doing like a full-blown parade, do you know what I mean? And I think as well, like, it was brilliant. It was the TV, do you know what I mean? That meant a lot, I think. But you watch the game back, like, it wasn't great. It's one of them. It wasn't a great game because it was Tosh put the ball in, wasn't it? With the I remember that was like the first game that my dad ever took me out to watch.
Oh, right.
And we went to the Wigan Pen in Chaisley.
Was that a pub? Should you have been in a pub at that age, Frank?
I would have been, supposed to 7 or something.
7, Neil will be happy.
We went to the Wigan Pen in Paisley, and I remember when Sellick scored, everybody went mental, and I got covered in beer and I started greeting. I had to leave.
You never tell me that.
I thought I'd saved that until we're live on the telly.
That's an exclusive, and I've been his best mate for 25 years. So
I started greeting, and we had to leave, and we had to go up to my cousin's house. I had to go up to my cousin's house. I feel so.
See now as an adult, and you think about how annoyed you'd be if you were your dad. You'd just be like,
I would have left me.
Just like, do it. I'll let phones or what come and get you.
But no, my dad took me up to my cousin's. We watched the end of the game there, and then that was it. But I get absolutely drenched. So that's in beer.
Start with green. So that one obviously was so much barren years for us. I remember seeing a video, I think the Celtic bus just then went through the Gallagate after it, and like Tom Burns is get out with a trophy, like, and everyone's just trying to grab it and all that. And he's just like, that was like, it might have been like one of his sort of first, second season, you're like, right, he still had a chance, there was that belief. Obviously we wanted to do great things for Celtic, but it just wasn't enough against a Rangers team spending crazy money sort of thing, so I had to take that into account.
Definitely, but I'd say it was definitely, it was a highlight moment for him, do you know what I mean? It was it was brilliant. It was just a brilliant memory, wasn't it?
Definitely. Big Peter with the header. Just to go back to that game, Celtic Airdrie 1995, in goals, Paddy Bonner.
You told me that this morning, and I was
surprised.
I was slightly surprised, but I thought it would have just been Marshall.
Standardly. Paddy Bonner was at Celtic until 98. I didn't realise. I don't know what capacity.
I don't know what he was then.
So technically, he would have
played a bit.
I don't know if he got he did get a league medal for stopping 10 in a row.
I don't know how it worked back then, but I don't remember him playing.
As I said, we'd only been 7, 8, like you say, very young. A backline of Vata, McInally, McKinley and Boyd. Can you see why we were losing goals?
Well, yeah, with hindsight, possibly. Okay. But they're all great.
Oh, great. Midfield, McLaughlin. McLaughlin's a weird one, just the weirdest guy in the world, but technically brilliant.
I remember, like, people...
Is he like 5'11"? No, 5'5". 5'5".
I remember he was like just because we were so desperate for anything at that point. I remember people working on like, he could be the next, like he's a wee tricky winger, and you're just kind of like, he's not. Do you know what I mean? This isn't going to pan out. So McLaughlin, Grant, who was injured that day but played through a pain barren, won man of the match. Cruciate legend?
I think so, but
he'd done
made that tougher stuff, but
he would have ran for a brick wall.
Exactly. I think he missed the 88 final and was like devastated as you would be, and I think he was also then injured for the 95 and was just like, I don't care.
I see him talking about that on that Cy Ferry thing, and he was saying that he was like, I think it was a really bad injury he had, and he was like, nah, I'm playing, and you're just gonna like,
I cruciate, just
fair play to you.
Wrap it up, you'll be fine. McStay, Collins. I mean, McStay, Collins for me are the two guys that epitomise the 90s for me. They're the guys I remember very vividly. McStay, there was just like, you just wanted it to go well for him. I think
it's always said about McStay in it is that he was a great football player, but he wasn't a great captain. I don't remember enough about him. Do you know what I mean? I think like his serious baller years were before us. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely mid to late 80s.
The thing is as well, but the guy getting the all-time greatest Celtic, you know what I mean? So it's always like legend.
I don't think we've seen the best of him in the 90s. Obviously, we'd have seen him mid to late 90s, obviously later in his career, so fair to everybody, seen nothing but absolute Celtic legend. Collins was my favourite player. I can actually speak to left-footed. Two left Tigers. He was more consistent than me, and I think he could tackle. Could header the ball. Well, I mean, there's a reason why he played professionally and you're sat here on a Sunday morning. Exactly. I loved the free kick at Ibrox, Collins. It was sick. Some of his free kicks. The first guy I remember wearing the Preds before Beckham made it cool. Yeah, well, that's true, the Preds. I don't know if Collins was quite getting the sponsorship Beckham got. You know what, did Collins look at screw us over but with his move? The Monaco thing, was it not that they didn't want to something about I remember we Fergus had to take them to court, and they were like that. We're not actually part of France, right? Because so they were trying to say that the French tax rules didn't apply to them or something. I thought something like that. That makes sense. Sounds something. I remember being gutted when he'd left. Monaco, so he would have been paying tax on wages, make a fortune out of probably. Up from Donnelly and Van Hooydonk. Simon, I love Simon Donnelly growing up, man. He said, he was one of them, like, I just always seen him just popping up with goals, you know what I mean? I thought he was a really good player. But Pierre was Pierre. As long as he was playing through the middle, if you try to move him anywhere in a front line, like he was, I think there was one game at Tynecastle and he kind of played slightly to the left and he was just non-existent, man, like he was terrible. But Big Pierre he was a great, that was the thing with these players, like, see, like,
that is particularly Van Hooijdonk and Di Canio that we signed, and we were like, when they were at us, we're like, these guys are amazing. But then you think about like what they went on, like Pierron won the UEFA Cup and all that.
Absolutely.
But absolutely still a great player. Di Canio had maybe an up and down career, but there was times like with Di Canio where people like, obviously he's got that goal that he scored for West Ham and all that.
But you know, like push over a ref.
I was when Winterburn tried to square up to him and he feels shit himself.
Just on Van Hooijdonk, to this day, if anybody gets a free kick at the edge of the box, just like the left, old Joe, shout out to Joe, my dad, like him say like that, I'll always say, big Van Hooijdonk, big one that was go for there, like brilliant.
Does he mispronounce his name as well?
Aye, he does, big Van Hooijdonk. So big Van Hooijdonk, I'll say, that's, put the kettle on for that, loved a free kick to the edge of the box, great technique, didn't he? He made a couple of free kicks, was finalled against Rangers.
Aye, thanks for he was a great player. He's an agent, isn't he?
He is, I think he said some young. In fact, I think he might have been Chief's age.
Was he?
So, you know, he's done great things for the club. Just a wee touch on Donnelly. I thought Donnelly was the first guy to play really well with Larson as well.
Yeah, I felt that Simon Donnelly was the reason I liked him so much, and I thought he was such a good player, was that I thought he complemented whoever he was playing with really well.
Unselfish.
Do you know what I mean? He was very unselfish, and I think that he was able to bring the best out of people that he was playing with and stuff like that. So I thought, I honestly had a lot of time for him when he was playing. I thought he was a really good player.
So that was mine because huge one to sort of deduct.
What was your worst then?
My worst memory would be Celtic 2, them 3, the 2003 final. It would have been, I think, the Seville year, possibly. I remember that day, about 20 minutes in, Celtic looked like they'd been on the booze the night before. Lennon was just walking about with his socks on his ankles.
Possibly, could have been.
And that Martin O'Neill team, they might have been, to be fair, there were a lot of games that season. That maybe around the time, occasionally we would go to Hampden and you were like, not a day. We had that duck with that. Luckily that's by. Definitely under Tyler we had it going on, where you just, first 10 minutes you were like, we're not doing this, this is not happening. That game, I remember Ferguson ran the full thing. We got it 2 each. The Lovencrantz one, just horrible. Like just that gut wrenching feeling where you're like, that's it. That's the end of my world. Like there's no coming back for this.
My life is.
You're just like no matter what happens, and it ruins. Doesn't ruin your day. It just ruins like you're still thinking about it now. It's just horrible. I remember, as I say, Ferguson absolutely running it. Lennon and Lambert in the middle, I think, looked done in. Baldy get one, whipped the tap off. Massive one.
He was ripped.
A lot of weird taps and just I think it was maybe Hudson get one. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But you just knew it wasn't Celtic's day that day, and it was like very near the end of full time. Lovencrantz just get the heat out of the back post, I'm sure. Douglas in goals. Now, I've always said this about Martin O'Neill Celtic, right? Martin O'Neill was not afraid to spend money and was backed heavily. Douglas was a bit, weird one.
It's sort of like a throwback to the Tommy Burns teams where it was like, it was a case of just we'll just get good players going forward, and we'll just stick players in, do you know what I mean? I like that. I think every Celtic fan for that period of time would look at it and be like, there's a good few games that maybe could have went the other way if we'd have had Broto and go. I love Sanchez Broto, man. Great keeper. Then obviously Marshall then came through. That season, Seville season, obviously, we Rangers done a treble. Which is so weird. Like the Celtic Seville season has always been remembered. We threw everything at the
that's the whole thing.
See, the thing was though, even we doing that, like you said, we were in a final, we took it to the last day. It could have been a very, very different season.
I know.
It was just one of them.
I remember, just to go to Seville for a wee bit, I remember you went there with your family. I think you didn't even get close to Seville. No, you were able to get to Portugal.
We had to fly into Portugal, and then on the day of the game, there was a bus chartered, and we managed to go on the bus, and we drove through. And even then, obviously we had to go to one of the big screens and watch it there, and I get sunstroke.
What age would have been? So 2003 would have been?
I wouldn't have been 15, I'd have been 14.
Right. Cider drink. 60 gift cider.
A couple of ciders. But I know it was just like the whole day, it was like it wasn't even just the game. Like, I hate the build-up, but when you're there and first stuff like that, I mean, like, it was amazing. Obviously, just meeting people and stuff like that. So it was something I always remember.
My memories of that day were
you dog school.
A dog school. And I was...
Because I phoned you, right? And you never answered the phone.
I was under my bed.
And I had to text you, and you were like, I didn't want to answer it. I thought it was the school phone. Just summed you right up.
Terrifying. Just for those who don't know where I'm a nervous wreck, and I just pessimistic at best. I did feel we'd win that day though, but I remember like a dog school. And I'm running about, just trying to hide from everybody. I'm like, but teams my dad getting through what terrified. And my phone's not when the phone goes, you're like, I knew it was you, I think your number came up, and I'm like, hello. I thought it was a school or something like that. I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but I just started in fear. And that day, heartbreaking. But again, you felt that's a fun memory. I think that's not a sort of like, as I say, that 3-2 against Rangers Scottish Cup, tears, that one.
I'm always bitter about it because it was one of them, that was the perfect example. Playing football at the Glasgow Celtic Weekender. I mean, it was like we were out there was no cheating for us. You know what I mean? We played our best team, and we tried our best. Obviously, we
That's a very Celtic Da thing as well. Just like diving out of the park.
They were bad, but
you're just while we're on it, your dad very much a Celtic Da. Come away with some great quotes over the years for Celtic Da.
He play 5 forwards. That's a big one for us. It's when he names all the positions. I'm like that. I don't know what that is. It's
inside
like,
fly half.
Inside half and all that. Like, I know he'll be sitting right now with my man, and he'll be like that. Like I've told him a lot of times, this is how you play. By 5 forwards, you play 5 forwards. That was a big one because that's what the lines.
You know what's quite funny? Like, see when you say like the new positions, you say left mid, right mid, your dad's like inside half, outside left, and all the rest of it, and you're like, come on, get with the times. But see now when people say stuff like low block,
oh mate,
and you're like,
I remember it was on Sky Sports, and they had. I can't remember who it was. I think she played for the England national team, or the England women's national team, and she was on and she was talking about the low block, and Graham Souness was like that. Graham Souness was like, that was the low block, and he started being like, he was being a bit of a dick, and people kind of ripping that, and then it was everybody else was like, no, that is what it's called now. But it's just him being well at a touch and also being a bit of a biddy. But you know, it's true. Like, at least we're only in our 30s, and we're at a touch with what the youngsters are calling the.
I think that's obviously. I couldn't even get his own line.
I want to watch this back. It's just the 2 years sitting there doing that. No, we've still got a minute left. We're on yet,
see, the thing is, I'm glad we're in bad, but I'm right up against the screen.
It could have been so much worse if one is just throwing all that scratch or something.
That's a pina colada.
Let's go on to the day then.
Let's tune in. Let's go on to the day. So that was Scottish Cup memories, right? So back onto the day. Straight away, Brown or Sorrow. What are you saying?
What I think will happen, or what I would go with?
Let's go with what you think will happen.
I think Brown will start.
Right, because he basically said
that. Pretty much, yeah.
What did you make of that? I mean, that took the wind out of yourselves.
I think it was one of them, like, I know obviously, like the Celtic State of Mind just before us were talking about whether it was maybe mind games and stuff like that. There's a good chance it might have been, keep hearts on their toes. It was a strange one to say, I think, especially. I think it was one of them that, like, it didn't even need to be said. It wasn't like he was asked directly about it.
Right.
I think he could have just been like, if everybody's in contention, stuff like that, we'll see how training goes, something like that. But it was just to come out and sort of reaffirm it or confirm it. So sort of concrete. It was a strange one for me. I didn't think there was a need for it. I thought he could have quite easily dodged the question, even if he was asked directly. He could have easily dodged it. So it was a bit of a weird one.
A week before a cup final, you're not really going to be expected to name your side. So, like you say, you could easily just done that. Like, we'll see how training goes. We'll see who's up for it. We'll see what injuries are like. He didn't really have to address it. But to say that I think everybody's sales after a wee bit of momentum's getting built again.
I think it will definitely, because obviously the players get brought in like your Soros, your Turnbulls, Hazard, and we've been on such a poor run. And they get brought in and they done brilliant. They've done a great job, and it kind of got us back a wee bit. 2 wins in a row, kept a clean sheet at home and stuff like that. And it was like, you were kind of like, right, now maybe we can do something here. We can get this going, get a run together, especially for going to Ibrox at obviously the start of the next year. So it was like, and then it just kind of all sort of came away, but. It's one of them, like, with hindsight and looking at it, I can see it from both sides. Managers do this, do you know what I mean? Like, you see it a lot where it's like they'll play like a lot of their sort of second-time players in the run-up to it, and then they always get the final as well. It just so happens that it's the opposite with us. Like, we've played all our starters in the run-up, and then our second-string players have been playing in the league, and then we're coming back to our starters, do you know what I mean?
I think that... play the guys that got us there holds more weight if, the whole Corona COVID thing hadn't happened, because then it would have been a lot closer to the time. So we're talking about, guys who got him there, for instance, Craig Gordon got us there, you know what I mean? Like, he was in the squad, so Bayou scored against Clyde, for instance, in the earlier rounds. So the guys who got you there, it's that long ago because of the big break and everything. This is essentially last year's cup final. It doesn't really make sense to be like, we'll bring in the guys who've done it. I don't think it's a real strange one.
I do think you're right, mate, but it's...
Well, the
thing is as well, we don't know what the team's going to be yet. We can obviously predict it, and it does seem like it'll go that way, but it might be a case of it was just to throw people off, and it'll be the same team.
Who do you think you'll go with up front?
Eddie.
Just Ed himself.
I don't think it'll be Ed. I'm more interested.
Occasionally I'll ask you a question as if it's like, this is a huge one. It's just like, do you think Celtic will do this?
It was just like, who do you think will start up front? Well, probably our best player is fit. He's not best player in current form.
To be fair.
I mean, who's he going to throw in? What, Klimala? Do you think he would play Klimala?
Probably not, no.
I think Eddie will start up top, and I think it'll be more interesting either side.
How long do you think the Eddie thing carries the weight of he's our best player, so he plays? Like, at what point is it going to have to be like, right, he's miles off it?
The thing is, like, we discussed this on our pod through the week there. I don't think that Eddie is down tools. I think Eddie's going through a tough spell, form-wise. He's still trying. He's probably tracking back more now than what he was before, because he's trying to get on the ball. So I think it's one of them that you need to just kind of persevere with. Do you know what I mean? And the goals will come. It'll definitely come, do you know what I mean? And he'll get back to it, and like I said, I think he's our best player, do you know what I mean, when he is on form. I think he will get back to that, but you need to just kind of stick with it. And see, to be honest with you, I would say that the advantage he's got now is that I don't think anybody's really banging on the manager's door and being like, I deserve to start here.
Well, I mean, we could keep doing the Griffiths one again, but we're sort of like, there's something not right there. Lennon doesn't fancy him, doesn't he want him in?
I thought that originally, but you can see that Lennon turns to him when he needs a goal. Do you know what I mean? He does. But I think it must just be down to the fitness thing. Do you know what I mean? And what he's doing off the training field.
Do you? So it's a tricky one. So, like, what he alluded to with his comments, what we've done in terms of playing well, it's really just down to Turnbull, Sorrow, Hazard, right?
Taylor lacks out, I think, as well.
But they're the big decisions. So it's not like he's got 111. And then it's not like that obvious. So it could be a sort of combination of both. It could be like basically the team who played last week but Brown instead of Sorrow. And then for you, does that mean that he's reverted back, or does that mean that he's stuck to the same?
I don't know.
Is that again, is that a combination?
I think, like you said, it's very much just a kind of combination. It's four players we're really talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like it's sort of four players. I think even if he goes with maybe two of them, do you know what I mean? And then the other two might come on at some point. But it's like you said, obviously, earlier. I mean, like, Sorrow's not played a handball before. No. I'm not saying he wouldn't be able to stand up to it, because I think he looks a great player, he looks a great character. But if he goes with Brown, I wouldn't be overly surprised or overly concerned. Do you know what I mean? But I think Turnbull's the one. If I was to say that there's one that I think would be kind of really likely to start out of all of them. I think it'll be Turnbull.
Right.
I don't think Hazard will start. I think he'll go with Bain just because the comment that he made. And Bain had obviously played like the semis and stuff like that. Taylor and Laxalt, I'm not sure about. I don't know.
Who'd have thought we'd be saying this?
I know, mate. I know.
Start of the season, so you're saying definitely Taylor. Oh, really? I thought I was only banging you up there.
No, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think, see, if you're going on like Taylor played really well against Kilmarnock. I've been critical of him all season, but he did. He played. I got to give him credit. He played well. But if he goes out of Laxalt, I wouldn't be gutted. No,
definitely. So you think sticks with Duffy and Julian?
I think it'll be Duffy and Julian. I think it'll be Ayer at right back. I think that's a combination that probably he might not be able to stick to for too long term, so just because Ayer is still technically being played at a position. But I think for the meantime, we really need to stop leaking goals, and we just kept a clean sheet with that. So I think it'll go with that. The only worry with that is chopping and changing the keeper. I think that we really need a settled backline and a goalkeeper. We really do, mate. We need to get that. We need to get that nailed down. We can't have this changing your centre half, changing your keeper all the time. We need to get that settled.
See, given that it's that old argument, what's bigger, the quadruple treble or the 10 in a row? I mean, what's bigger, or are they equally big? So obviously, you want to do regardless, but is a part of your thoughts going to be going to Ibrox? So you're like, if you've got a settled winning team, and regardless of the cup final comes in between that, you've just got to keep playing that settled winning team. So by the time you go to Ibrox, you get something steady, or is it like you throw this in and then you sort of break a bit of rhythm? And let's be honest, Ibrox is what, 2 weeks away, less than that. So have you got to be thinking about that, or are you just like? I think that they're going to look at this as a one-off. I don't think that I know. I agree with you, but I think that they're going to look at this and be like, this is a completely different animal today. This is a different game, and I think that that's where you look at it. I think that maybe after this, I think what's the next game? We've got a game midweek. I think what's that game on Wednesday?
We've got a game Hamilton Boxing Day,
probably usually around that. Must win.
I think that we'll see a settled team after this game, but I think this game will be treated as a sort of one-off.
I personally think the sort of problem started this season with the whole because of the season it is, and because there are going to be so many fixtures crammed in, we need to try and get a sort of. We need to keep using the squad. And I've said that I'm not against using the squad here and there, but there's got to be a core. Yeah. And I think the fact we've not had a sort of core settled, a settled two at the back, a settled keeper, maybe a settled middle two. That's your core. That's what every good team's got. And I just think the fact that we've not had that this season, coupled in with the fact we've had a few dodgy performances from McGregor and Brown in the middle, Duffy's been up and down since he's came in. Goalkeepers, we've played 3 keepers, which is mental if you think about it. That is really, and it's got a case of it's like maybe we'll throw Hazard in, like you said the other day. So I think the fact we're not a settled team is huge, and that came to a bit of a downfall. I'd like to see a settled team similar to a team that played against Kilmarnock today to move on, but you think we'll sort of mix it up.
But I do agree with you, mate. I think that squad rotation is fine, and we obviously do need to use our squad because we've got the biggest squad in the league anyway.
Yes.
But you're right, mate. You're saying I don't think squad rotation should come into it with your keeper, your centre halves, unless it's through injury. And I would say at least your middle two, in the middle of the park. I think your 10, your number 10, your wingers, your striker, we can do the rotation there. Yep. We've got a lot of good players. You've got Turnbull, obviously Rogic, you've got Christie, you've got Moy, Mikey Johnson's just back, we've got 4 strikers. So there can be squad rotation there, and I would expect that, but I think that you're right, that's what our problem has been, is that it's the too much and match. They're playing 3 keepers before Christmas is insane. That is mental.
But that's it. Hazard probably thought, if Celtic Da Podcast early, I might get a few games towards the end of the season. He probably didn't think I'll be playing in November.
Exactly. And big crunch match.
Like pure must wins, but it sort of sums up the way everything sort of went. So overall, what's your sort of feelings towards today? Are you mad nervous?
No, I'm looking forward to it, mate. I just want to get the game started. Get it going. So I'm looking forward to it, mate. I think it'll be a tricky. Hearts obviously is a hard game. They always do, you know what I mean? And I think it will be a tricky game. But it's frustrating because going into every game, and domestically anyway, I'm always like, if we play to our strengths, we play to the best of our ability, we'll win. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always think, I was like, we will win. And the day's no different. Do you know what I mean? I think that if we go out there and we do our job, I think we'll get the win. I think if we get an early goal, I think that would be huge. Just to get an early goal, settle the nerves, and then I could see us going on and just getting on after that.
Absolutely, mate.
What about yourself?
Naturally pessimistic, mate. But I mean, the whole we should have enough thing. We should have enough, but we should have enough to be brought in the league or not. I still think we've got the best squad. We're into all this. It's not quite gone that way this season, so we should have enough. But anything can happen in a one-off game. It's obviously always my fear. I'll be nervously drinking through it. But I'll take a win.
Try and see the second off, mate.
That's it. Try not to be too done for it. The last 2 or 3 cup finals, I've notoriously run around here Mondays with a bottle of champagne.
Have you bought the champagne?
I'm not bought champagne yet, mate. What I usually do is I just run to the closest shop, buy a cheap bottle of champagne, and then run to your house. Even if anybody's in, I'll know.
You done it the last Scottish Cup final. Now you knew I was in anyway.
It's why I was wanting to celebrate. I watch the game myself because I'm that nervous.
No, I was up to watching all my cousin Shug.
Shug.
Alright, Shug, cousin's on. I was up the town watching it with him, and then you were phoning me and you were like that. Are you in the house? And I was like, you know I'm not in the house.
I've gone there anyway.
I'll see you.
But exactly, it was.
Did my man not drop you off?
I think your mother's at me the
Oh, Christ. You're 30 years old.
I'm in the back with my cheap bottle of champagne. Alright, maybe you think of the game with it? No, that was a great day, mate. I get in straight away. I'm instantly nervous. Like, this is going terrible. Endless scores. Not all Australian. And then Eddie has a lucky penalty.
But it's like,
should I say that we run a bit more on the lawns, telling people that Eddie should have been off time. So overall, we're feeling good. We're ready to go, guys.
I know it'll make us feel better, mate.
What?
If we dig into our new stuff.
Get time for the Dragon Suits, guys. I think officially it's early enough to get on it now. I think Celtic are giving you permission.
You've had to listen to us for an hour, so I would strongly recommend it.
Exactly. Get the cans opened, get the songs on, and let's get going for the cup final, mate.
That's it, mate. I think that's all you can do now. I mean, it's just
enjoy it.
That's it, mate. Just enjoy the day.
Oh, that's not what you need. It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Not what you need.
I'll be Venom in the morning, but I'm going to be product placement, mate. Try and hang that.
Alright.
Almost.
Well, we might end up getting sponsored.
Exactly. If you're listening,
whoever makes Dragon Suit, I think it's just tops.
It's really bad.
To be honest,
it's really bad. Well, still here, mate. We'll go over some previous memories again. Right. I want to talk about Larsson's last ever competitive game.
Right.
Do you remember it well? Dunfermline.
Yeah, I do.
Again, losing 1-0.
Yeah, he went there, aye.
I'm like, it's over.
Aye, he was there.
Larsson's going out. Nah, terrible.
Aye, he was. No, it was. Hank, I mean, let's just have a moment.
Just
unbelievable.
He won doing. Again, I think they Dunfermline goal. I'm sure it was a big ball. Keepers went to catch it and they just pushed the keeper in the net.
What's up with the time?
Again, I'm greeting.
A lot of these stories end up being greeting. I'll start with you greeting.
Exactly. I'll be greeting the day regardless. Then long ball for Sutton. Their corner, Larsson breaks through.
Great finish.
He got 2 that day. He also got a winner, and then Petrov got 1 as well. So I agree with you saying the only way we could have signed off Larsson was where Scottish Cup, and that was the season most done the whitewash.
I was quite lucky in Larsson's season because I got to go to his last league game and I got to go to his testimonial as well. And I cried at both.
Yes.
So that's that, baby.
Do you remember thinking, maybe he'll stay? Maybe he'll reverse the decision. He's got to move to Barcelona, I bet.
I know. That was the time because he didn't know where he was going. It was like, maybe he'll sign that. But then it was like,
Barcelona.
I don't think we've got much long left. How long we got?
I think that's pretty much us. So thanks very much.
I enjoyed
it. Good to for the game.
Thanks to get this.
I'll make some today. Thanks for joining us. Honestly, I've enjoyed buzzing to be a part of this and talking to full great charities. Thanks for having us. I've been Kev, this has been Patchy.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Really can go on and donate. It's really for amazing causes. Thanks to the Celtic State of Mind team just for having us on, letting us be a part of it. It's really appreciated.
Buzzing, thank you.